Okay, here we go for a 9-ball ladder match. We're just catching the tail end of the lag. I don't know who's lagging where. We'll soon find out. Well, Andreas won the lag. Right, for all of you that don't know, the 9-ball ladder matches cost you 30 virtual dollars to play a ladder match. And if you win the match, you not only have the chance of moving up the rungs on the ladder, but you also win 15 $V on top of your entry fee, so you'll come out the match with with $45. So just while they're in the first rack, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the calendar and we'll have a quick look at the 9-ball ladder, and we'll put it to list view. And there is the 9-ball ladder there. It's called the 9-ball open, and so you can challenge people that are above you on the ladder. So this match here, we have Andreas, who's sitting in 4th place, and he's playing Chad Mercer. So this is to decide who ends up in 4th spot, because if Andreas loses, he's going to drop down, and in turn Chad will jump up. And that shows you all the players that are on the ladders, or on the 9-ball ladder. There's a snooker ladder, a 9-ball ladder, a 4-ball carom ladder. I can't think, I think there might be an 8-ball ladder as well. Anyway, back to the match. We're still in the first rack. We've got Andreas at the table. And is he going to scratch? No, he's got the kiss and the 5. That's worked out okay. Again, the balls are all sitting nice. And this could be Andreas's chance. So he's probably going to have to play the combo in the 7, obviously, because the 7's blocking the pocket to the 3 at the bottom of the table. He needs to run. He doesn't want to block himself off with that 9. Oh dear. Let's have a look. Well, I don't know whether he can see enough of that without actually digging the butt of the cue up and spinning it round that 9. Can he make it? Well, he can. That's a lot better than I thought, because my eyes told me it wouldn't make it. That was a good shot. And he's got to draw back and get across for this 5. Doesn't want to draw it too hard though. Could go in off into the right middle. You get into this ball too much, well, he's overhit it. And has he got lucky? Well, I think Chad can see an edge there. Well, the 9-ball is sitting on the spot, I think, right in the middle of the table. Well, the top of the triangle. So now Chad's got to get across to this 8 in such a way that he can make it easy for himself to come down onto the 9, and I think he's going to go too close here. Yep. He needs a delicate touch. But he needs to play this the right pace, because the cue ball will go over to the right hand middle. He doesn't want to, he's got to hit it hard enough though to get to the pocket, so he's sort of chickened out there. And Andreas goes for the safe again. Now that 8, I think that 8 will bank. Although he looks as if he's going to try and... Well, he looks as if he's going to play some sort of safety here. Yep. And that's actually pretty well played. That's good thinking. Put the pressure on your opponent. So Andreas has got to play the kick. He's got no room here to try and even play a jump shot, and the 9-ball's in the way anyway because he's got too far to jump. So got to get a good kick and just hope he gets a bit of luck. Now the shot here would be to draw the 8-ball in and just come across, but he's got into that too much. He's just overhit it, so he's now in between pockets here. It's his choice. I think he's going to try the cut into the middle. It's always going to be tough, so this isn't easy either. And I think the cue ball's going to run to that top left corner pocket. I don't think it will go in off. I think it will go round the jaws. It looks like it. I don't think it's a dead set in off. As long as he doesn't draw the cue ball, he should be okay. Just concentrating the 9. Yeah, well, that's okay. So Andreas gets himself on the board. Now the other thing in this 9-ball ladder is it's not a handicapped ladder, so every player just plays from scratch, so it's the first to 7, and it's also alternate break, I believe. Now, all that information you'll find on the actual ladder page. So if we look here, I think it's alternate, yeah, break alternate and lag for the break. So all the information for each ladder is on the ladder page, and you can remember what I said, you can find that through the calendar and go into list view. Let's go back and see how we're doing. So Andreas plays the safety again. Now I don't know, I think, well, I don't think there's a path off 1, 2, 3 cushions past that 5, because the 5 is blocking the path of the cue ball, and I think he's going to try and just hit this off maybe the side railing. That's not bad, not a bad effort, but he's left the 2-9 combo here, and ball in hand for Andreas. Now if there was ever a doubt there, what Chad should have done is bang the hell out of that ball to at least try and move something. Even though he might have left Andreas ball in hand, he should have been more than aware that had he not hit the 2 at all, he was going to leave the 2-9 combo. And this is what you've got to think about when you're playing, especially 9-ball. You know, he was hooked on the 2, but the 2 and the 9 were set. So the cardinal sin there was not hitting the 2 and moving it, at least. So it's now 2-0 to Andreas. He's got no shot on. He could try the combo in the 4 into the middle. I don't know what he really tried there. I think he tried to sneak past the 8 maybe. I've never seen Chad Mercer play, so I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at his rating. They're pretty evenly matched. Well, here's a chance to cut the 1 down past that. Is that the 5-ball or the 3-ball? They all look the same. And well, he's got second prize. I don't think there's a path through to that 1. He can't squeeze between the 3 and the 5, and I don't think he can get it off that rail either. He could try playing it with a lot of inside English off the rail to try and check the cue ball to see if it would actually maybe roll to the 1. And that was a pretty difficult shot anyway. I don't think he had any real chance to get to it. And he's way over hit that. I think he obviously tried to move something there because the 5's blocking the path for the 2 into that corner. And now he can't see the 2. Oh yeah, he could just get it. But all he's done is pushed it on for Andreas. So we've got the 3. Well, I think Andreas has under hit that. He needs to adjust his mouse. A wee bit of nerve showing there. And this is even, I think he's okay. I thought he was going to hook himself behind the 8. Well, let's see how Chad Mercer does with this table. This isn't easy. The 6 is pretty tight in that right hand rail and the 4's awkward. And well, that solves that problem. He's nudged the 4 over the middle. And he needs to leave an angle on that 5 and he's over hit it again. Just getting into the cue ball a bit too much. But he can just drop over and again needs to leave a slight angle and that's pretty good, but the problem now is he's got so much distance down this rail to get to this corner and he's got to keep it tight. And that's okay, it's going to get there. And he's got a perfect little angle on the 8 just to drop it in. And the 9 will get his first rack on the board, so Andreas still leads by 2 racks to 1. And Chad has the break. How's his luck? Well, no luck. Andreas is on the 1. Now he's got to be aware of that 8-9 combo in the middle. And the ideal shot to do that is going to be the 3 ball, which is sitting right in the middle of the table. So it's going to be a problem if he's going to try and run the table. That's going to scratch, I think. Yeah. Now Andreas is going to feel the wrath of Chad Mercer with ball in hand, because that 9 ball's going to go in any second now. Again, fatal error. Well, Chad's doing the nice thing, but this is a ladder match and you're playing for virtual dollars, and he might live to regret that. He should have sunk that 9 ball in a combo. I'm sure it goes in. Oh yeah, it goes in dead easy. And why he didn't do it, I don't know. And again, Andreas is scratched in the middle. Well, the 5 squeezes past the 9. But I don't know, he can't avoid hitting this 8, I don't think. Well, he's actually going to sink the 8. That's him killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So somehow Chad's managed to win this rack, but he should have won it earlier. He should have took the combo. So now we're back all square at 2-all. Andreas to break. And eventually the 4 ball goes into the bottom right. And he's got a tough shot down the side rail here on the 1. And the cue ball, if he doesn't hit it too hard, should just come across and he probably have a shot in the 2 into the middle. And if he... well, he got it, but forgot about the 1 ball. 1 ball was tough. Now there is good cover here for Chad if he wants to thin off the left hand side of this 1 as he's looking at it and go down behind the 7. But he's chosen the more aggressive approach. Went for the bank and had no shot on the 2 really. An awkward cut on the 2, if anything. and it's all about controlling your pace in these shots. A wee bit of drag in the cue ball there, I think, and that's held for the 1. 3 balls sitting there waiting to go into the right middle, and then the 5 into the left, and should just drop on that 6 on the side rail on the left hand side. He wants to run through far enough. Even if he runs through as far as the kitchen line, it'd be perfect. It looks as if he's just trying to drag it. Well, that's okay. Just drop this 5 in. But he's overhit it again. That's too heavy, Andreas. Make your life difficult here. Well, this is dangerous because the in-off is on this time into that right hand corner. He's got to be careful. And I think he's going to try and draw this into that left corner and draw the cue ball up the table, but didn't get into it enough. Needed a lot more power. So now I think he's got one option. I think it's the bank. Or is he going to go for the cut? Let's have a look, see how he's lining up. Well, I think he's going for the cut. Let's see if he gets it. Well, that's one way of getting it. Again, he overhit that. Don't need to hit them that hard. And he's got a very thin cut in the 9. In it goes. Cue ball's running, but he's okay. So back into the lead for Andreas. And the break changes to Chad. Now something flew into the left corner there. It went so quick I never caught it. I think the 6 is going into the top left. Now what went into the corner there would have been the 5 ball. Yeah. Now we really need to be seeing one of these guys running a rack here. And he's underhit that again. I think he must surely have been leaving that 3 ball into the top right rather than the middle. Maybe not. Give him the benefit of the doubt, he got it anyway. Now he doesn't want to finish dead straight in this 8 ball. Got a nice high angle. Perfect for bringing the cue ball off the top side. And of course, maybe had a bit of spin on the cue ball there, and that's what sends it offline again. And balls will always rattle in these jaws. Same problem for Andreas. He's got to judge the pace. He doesn't want to hit this too hard. Just normal centre cue ball will take it off the end rail and back up the table here for the 9. That's okay. 9's tight in the rail, but he should be able to cut this in no problem. So now we've got a 2 rack gap here, and Andreas breaking in the 7th rack. Where's the 9 ball going? Well, that 9 ball was going in there. It just got kicked by the 4, and we've got a dry break. And I think we're just going to see a push out. Now this is the problem for Chad here, as to where to push this cue ball. He certainly doesn't want to just push it down to the bottom of the table as we look. Well, he's made a right hash of that one. And that's just given Andreas a gift of a start. Again, he's got no shot in the 2. He could try cross banking this either into the right middle or double banking it back into the left middle. Well, he's tried to move something down the bottom, but again the cue ball's got away from him. So Andreas has scratched 2 or 3 times and it's just losing control of the cue ball, or he's forgetting about it. Now another thing as well, there's no shot clock in this ladder, so I'm just getting that feeling that sometimes players are just in a bit too much of a hurry to get things done. Chad should have taken his time there. Again, Andreas, if it was about scratching the cue ball, he'd be up about 5-0 at the moment. He's certainly an expert at doing that. Now, the 6 isn't a combo on that 4 ball. And now we're getting a bit untidy here. And Chad needs to get his act together and just take his time. I think there's no option here but the deep draw to get the cue ball back up to this right corner. Maybe the angle's a bit wrong though. We'll soon find out. Yeah, the angle is going the other way. Well, that's a nice kiss off the 7. Couldn't ask for any better than that. Again, from the 5 to the 6 is easy, but you've got to have an angle on that 6 ball to get onto this 8. And he's again, well, that was bad, Andreas, you know it was. There's no way you should have hooked yourself behind that 9. So he's got to resort to the jump cue, and this is at a distance, so got absolutely no control over the cue ball, where it's going, and needed that little bit of luck there. Got the kiss on the 8 and he's perfect. And to get better control of the cue ball, I would put a little bit of bottom on this and draw it up the table. You see, this is why he's got a much bigger distance than he actually could have in that shot. So this for a 5-2 lead. And in it goes. Where's the cue ball? Cue ball's okay. And so Andreas goes into a 5 racks to 2 lead now. There's still plenty of opportunity here for Chad to get himself into this match, because I think they are fairly evenly matched players, but Chad just needs to take his time a bit when he's at the table and not be rushed into playing shots. Think a wee bit more about what he's doing. An opportunity here for Chad to go thin off that 1 off its right hand side and come back up to the end of the table here, up by the 9. Well, again, he's got distance but he's got no cover. 2 balls sitting there waiting to get into the right middle. And I think Andreas is going to have to... Is he going to have to dig the jump stick out again? Yeah. Well, in goes the 2. 3 isn't a problem. The problem though is getting from the 3 to the 4. Now if he just hits this thin, he can just let the cue ball run off that end rail and back up and over to the 4. Plays the deep draw again. Same thing here, you only need to just put a bit of bottom in this to bounce the cue ball off the side rail and out, and he's not quite got a hold of that there. Again, playing this from a big distance, and this is probably the crucial shot in the rack to get down here onto this 6. And once again we're playing at distance because he's now got an awkward cut in the 6. And you can't keep pulling out thin cuts all the time. You've got to get the cue ball closer to the object ball. The thin cut's on here for the 7, but you don't want to be playing too many of these in each rack. Oh, in it goes. Where's the cue ball going this time? Is it coming back up? Yeah, you can see the 8. Again, I think this is 4 out of the last 5 shots have been distance shots, and needs to get the pace right this time. Give himself an easier shot in this 9 if he gets the 8 in. Now surely he's not digging down in this, is he? Yeah. Now that wasn't the shot, Andreas. You needed to put plenty of top in the cue ball there to run through and use its pace to come off that top rail as we look at it and bring it down that way. You can't dig and draw at that distance and get good position. Look at the distance you would have been from the 9. And this time Chad had to go for it really, and in the end he's given away the rack, and Andreas moves on to the hill. He now leads by 6 racks to 2. And Andreas, once again, the expert at scratching. That's him in the pocket again, only this time from the break, and again the balls are perfect. And let's see if Chad can string a few balls together here, and well, he's not going to string many together, missing a ball in hand, 1 ball into the middle pocket there. That was poor. Well, maybe he's feeling it's a lost cause, but until your opponent has 7 next to his name, you're still in the match. And Andreas bends the cue ball there to get the 1. No shot in the 2 though. So should just be looking for a good safety here. I think, has the 7 come to the rescue? Yeah, it has. Now again, Andreas here, another fine opportunity for a good safety. He could thin the 2 back towards the 4 and the 9, or do likewise with the cue ball, but he hasn't got it. It would have been better to probably put the distance there and send the cue ball up to the top end, but Chad Mercer's got the same opportunity. Send the 2 up the table, bring the cue ball back, but he's letting the cue ball run too much there. He didn't really dig into it enough just to draw it and kill the pace a bit and control the cue ball a bit more. So here's Chad Mercer's second opportunity. Well, he's got himself on the 3, and the 4-9 combo, although it's not easy, it's sitting there waiting to be played. And he can't play Mr. Nice Guy, he has to go for this. Does the 4 pass the 9? No, it doesn't, so he's got to line this combo up. And whatever he does, he can't play this dead soft. He's got to make sure the 9 goes in or it rattles and comes out. Well, he gets the 9. And he brings it back to 5-4. I thought Andreas was on the hill. I must be seeing things. I'm getting tired. I thought Andreas had moved on to 6. Well, ball in hand for Andreas, but the problem here is the 2 and the 3. Two doesn't pass the 3, and he's not got a very good angle here to try and disturb these. So he might try and play the billiard from the thin the 2 ball, take the Q ball onto the 3 to sink the 3, but he's missed the 1. Now Chad's got the problem. Does he go for the billiard? Well, 3 ball rattled in the jaws, but he's got a second prize. Now where's that 3 ball lined up to? There's nothing on there at all. But Andreas thinks he can get an edge, and he does, and the cue ball is running nicely here. Well, he's got the cover behind the 6, and the cue ball's right on the bottom rail. Well, that is very unlucky. Chad missed the kick, and what's he done? He's collided with the 9 and sent it right over the corner pocket here. And that's really unlucky. And Andreas, with ball in hand, just needs to roll the 2 somewhere near this bottom left hand corner pocket, and the 9 will go in. Well, maybe, I forgot about the 5. The 5's blocking that shot, so, well, that's a lifeline for Chad. So that's forced Andreas to try and make some sort of run out here. Of course, the problem ball now is the 4, which is on the right rail, and its path is blocked into the bottom right hand corner. And he's not got the perfect angle here to get onto it. Now, there's something he could try. He needs to get the edge of this 4 and try and bring the cue ball across to sink the 9. Or try the bank. Oh. Well, Chad's missed a hit on the 4. And surely this time, all Andreas needs to do is get that cue ball somewhere up the table as we look, so he can push that 5 onto the 9. Doesn't want to hook himself behind the 7. That's the worst thing he could do. And that's tracking nicely. And this time I don't think he's going to make a mistake. just roll the 5 onto the 9. You don't need to hit it hard. So in goes the 9, and this time, definitely, Andreas moves on to 6. Chad still trailing by 2 racks, but this is a point of no return. And no luck in the break there for Andreas. And Chad needs to put a bit of power. Now again, he looks to be wanting to draw. He doesn't need to. He should have actually put a bit of power in that. He could have stunned off the rail and come out for the 2 into that left middle. Well, the 2 goes, but there's absolutely no shot he's going to have in a 3. So it's just going to be a thin edge and bring the cue ball back up here by the 9. Hopefully just tuck that enough in behind the 5. And the cue ball's running. But he's okay. Well, again, that was a sort of... I can see what he tried to do. He's trying to kill the pace to keep the cue ball behind that 6 ball. But as it is, it's handed Andreas another opportunity. It just needs a wee slight angle on this 6, and that's perfect. And a little bit of bottom to just draw off the top rail and across for this 7. And he's just under hitting him. He's leaving himself far too much of a distance here. Got to be a bit more braver and confident in your ability. You don't want to be playing distance shots all the time. So here's the problem, getting onto this 9. The angle's there, so it's just about pace. Well, it's about 6 inches shorter than where it should have, where it needed to be, but he's got the cut, and this for the match. And in goes the 9, and Andreas wins this 9 ball open ladder match by 7 racks to 4. And with that, we'll have a quick look at the ladder. We'll just need to refresh the page, or refresh the ladder standings, and let's see where we are. Well, Andreas holds his position. Chad Mercer's position remains the same, and he's in a 2-match losing streak. So just to recap, if you want to see the history, have a look down here on the history tab, and you'll see that Andreas defeated Chad Mercer by 7 racks to 4. And with that, nothing changed. They both remain in the same place. The only way something could have changed would have been Chad winning that match.